Some of the main problems facing law enforcement when it comes to enforcing DWIs is the amount of time it takes for an officer to actually process a DWI arrest. Most officers around the state say that takes about 4 to 6 hours of doing that. Then in addition to the 4 to 6 hours to process that, there's no standardization in the report. Many officers don't know exactly what all they should put into it. A DWI report.
With the Leadrs program out the gate, we're able to reduce the amount of time that it takes an officer to process their arrest by just over 50%, meaning that the typical officer can complete a DWI report within 60 minutes or less.
I went from a 4-hour case, which arrest, by the time I was done booking and doing a report, it'd be 4 hours, 4 hours and a half. It started cutting down that first year to 2 hours to an hour and a half. As I started getting proficient in Leadrs, now my time is somewhere between an hour, maybe sometime an hour and a half, but usually everything is under an hour.
Since we're able to reduce that time by over 50%, this hopefully will encourage officers to not only go out there and make a DWI arrest, but then if they get one, with the savings in time, they're able to turn around and get back on the street, assist their fellow officers, answer other calls for service, or even go make another DWI arrest.
A lot of the judges started liking Leadrs because now, instead of us going to their house to get a blood search warrant, now we just email it to them, and in less than 5 minutes, we have that search warrant.
Individuals on a jury are really expecting to see some sort of scientific evidence when it comes to DWI and really most of the trials that we have.
We've increased the number of warrants that we do, at least that I sign per year. From that first year of 11, I think I signed 97 warrants last year. So it's been great for our community. It helps our officers get back on the streets faster.
Leadrs also increases the quality of the report by walking the officer step by step through the DWI report writing process, prompting them to include more information than what they would traditionally include in their essay style of narrative. So through Leadrs, we're able to gather much more information in much more detail and provide some standardization across the board.
What we're doing is we're bringing Leadrs technology to a drug evaluation. DREs, or drug recognition experts, will be able to use our program. And instead of using the old clipboard and paper face sheet, DREs are now able to gather all the information during the evaluation in the same systematic and standardized method that they've been trained to do on a tablet or some other type of electronic device. This gives the DRE the availability to capture pictures and video of the person performing the various tests and assessments. It also allows us to gather that statistical data that to this point has never been captured.
We can now, through the information of data analysis, tell you everything that's happening with the DWI, to the time of day, to the type of vehicle, to what were the signs and symptoms of intoxication, all the way down to if the person was actually convicted or if the case was dismissed or if it was pled to a lesser charge. Being a member of the task force, well, that's really helped us with our networking capabilities. We're partnering with TTI to actually do data analysis on all of our data, to include all of our historical data going back 15 years now. We've also been able to coordinate with our Texas District and County Attorney's DWI Resource Prosecutor, so all the information and charging forms that we do are vetted through his office. We're now able to coordinate with our statewide DRE and SFST coordinator to make sure that we address everything from their standpoint, to the Texas Department of Public Safety's criminal lab to make sure we can get toxicology data from them. And then last is TABC. We're able to partner with them, and we provide them their direct own access account where they can access every DWI arrest that happens around the state that's entered in the system. And what that'll tell them is the name and address of the bar, and if there were any injuries or crashes associated with that DWI. And then that information can be sent to their local agent in that area.